My name is Tony Collins, and I have been in ministry in the United Methodist Church since 1980, so 45 years.
Terry Goodman, and this would be my 42nd year.
I'm Leslie Daniels.
Reverend Dr. Adam McKee III.
Mickey Rainwater. Brian Birch.
Rebecca Fetzer.
I'm Jeffrey. Go by Jeff. Talent.
My name is Braxton Cotton.
I've served in the ministry for at least 31 years.
38 years. 45 years.
Over 45 years.
My name's Harry Howe, and I've been in ministry for 48 and a half years.
Well, I have been watching these retirement videos for 38 years. And actually, I remember the old days when they actually let preachers talk before we realized we can't do it in 1 minute or less.
Yeah.
I appreciate the friends we've made. The clergy, pastors, and the friends we've made from church to church that stick with us. They've become rock solid friends throughout the years. I've discovered when we do things in community, it gets better. It's hard, but it gets better.
My theology is pretty simple, especially at this stage of life. It's to love God and to love others and serve others in His name. And so I think I'm a people person. So I love working alongside people and helping them to discover what it means to follow Jesus Christ and how we can love and embrace and serve this world and care for others in His name.
Ministry has given me joy every single day, and it's what gets me up in the morning. Being able to be with other people who also are in relationships and loving people in relationships to Jesus.
My time with United Methodist began with Lennon Seal, United Methodist Church in Knoxville. And I think I was sort of a shock to this system at first. And we melt together. In fact, just as I'm sitting on this high chair, in my second year there, my leg was crushed by a vehicle. And the men would roll me up, place me on a high chair, and I would preach just for a few minutes. Translation, we always need someone to help us.
I think Love Boldly encompasses all of who we are, to be honest. There's folks that are virtually unlovable, and a lot of times we just soon turn our backs and, forget those folks. It means embracing those that sometimes we wouldn't embrace. Be willing to serve those that we might see as unworthy. Part of my ministry in the medical aspect, there's folks sometimes you just want to give up on. They're just not going to do what they need to turn their health around. And I just try and hug them and love them and tell them I love them. And in the midst of that and in time, it makes a difference. And I think it's what loving boldly is loving someone and loving what you do to the degree that it's going to eventually, that seed's going to grow and a life's going to be transformed.
I learned a lesson from my father so many years ago. Growing up, he always told me, you're no better than anybody and no one is better than you. And so it enabled me to visit and build a relationship with anyone, from those who you go into their houses and it's hard to find a place to sit down, and it's a tough environment, and you know that they live in that environment, to those where you go into exorbitant homes and you're able to relate with all, and they are able to relate back, and you see that they're able to relate back to you, so you sense that for some reason I have this gift that has been given me to be able to relate to all people along all spectrums of life.
I think to love boldly, we need to get out of our church buildings. It's so easy for us to get stuck inside the building because there's always one more meeting or one more letter that needs to be written or one more something that needs to be done. We need to be out in the community and let people know that we're there and that we're serious about what we say.
Service, I think, should always feel more like a joy than it should a prison sentence. And so if we're leaning into the latter, then we're missing what the amazing opportunities that God already has planned for us.
Never assume that you know anything. There are too many variables in yourself and in the lives of the people around you and the communities they live in for you to assume that you understand what's going on and to know exactly how to respond to that. What you have to do is be willing to say, I've got more to learn here, and not be afraid to let something or someone teach you as you go through that. Sometimes that's in combination with the Holy Spirit, and sometimes it seems like the Holy Spirit didn't have a thing to do with it, so you never quite know.
So there's a balance, because you want to be a pastor that listens to your people. But on the other hand, you can't let your leadership be affected by whether or not your decision is popular with the people. So I believe that being courageous is doing the thing that God has laid on your heart. Because if you're just listening to others, then you're not really leading. But the leadership comes through Jesus, listening to Him, doing what He places on your heart to do, and knowing that He will back that up and that He will support that and bless that.
There's a great quote by Frederick Buechner, who said, "With God, the worst thing is never the last thing." And I love that quote. And I think that's true. God's mercies are new each morning. Great is God's faithfulness. And so I think that gives us the courage to lead.
Ministry, when I started back in 1983, is so much different than what ministry is today. You know, the question is, some people say, well, will you ever go back to the local church? I don't think I could go back to the local church, because my mind functions in a different flow now. And being a local church pastor, you've got to be adaptive. You can't come in thinking that you know the right answers off the bat. You have to be willing to live with the people, love the people, learn from the people, and lead the people. It sounds like a good sermon, doesn't it? Live, learn, lead, all those L's. I never preached like that. But maybe that's what you need. You need to have that ability to live and learn and love and lead. And that's gonna go far in life no matter what you do.
Yeah.
My favorite Bible verse really is, God has made everything beautiful in its time. And that includes us as clergy, that includes the church, that includes the church universal, that includes the world. And we're just getting started, helping the world be beautiful. In my role that I have been able to play with the deacons of our conference, I hope that I've been able to give them some courage and some of those things to step out and to do the right thing and to do what God has called them to do. So I would say that the call that God has on your life is truly transformational. Our clergy deacons have grown over the time that I've been in ministry, and bridging the church and the world, that's where the hope is to me. And the future of the church is in that very thing, is how do we bridge the church and the world.
If you want to change the world, you can't just sit there. You got to be courageous and try some new stuff. And you're going to get fussed at and yelled at, but go ahead and try it anyway.
We are United Methodists. If God is not on our side, we'd be in an awful lot of trouble, but the Lord is on our side. And we shall continue to go forth, making disciples of Jesus Christ.